Hello, my name is Sarah Wilkinson and I am one of the employment lawyers here at Thackeray Williams. You will have no doubt seen that the government's coronavirus job retention scheme, or furlough leave scheme, has been extended again until the end of October. All UK employers should therefore be considering now what will happen at the end of that furlough leave period for their employees that may now have been furloughed for a number of weeks or months, and whether any action needs to be taken in relation to future redundancies or alternatives to redundancies. Some redundancies are likely to be unavoidable, but there could be some alternatives to redundancy which could help to avoid the loss of experienced and valued staff, such staff who might not be so easily replaced when the business recovers. I wanted to go through a few of those alternatives to redundancies with you today. Firstly, if you haven't already done so, we would suggest that you review all recent employment offers and consider whether any of those could be withdrawn or deferred. Secondly, if your contracts of employment allow, perhaps you could consider either not paying bonuses or pay rises in the current financial year, or even delaying them slightly. Then why not consider asking your staff to accept a temporary reduction in pay or a period of unpaid leave? Some staff might be more amenable to agreeing to this if they know that it's an alternative to the termination of their employment. Some employees may be open to adopting flexible working patterns, and that's something that you could explore with them, although do be careful not to treat those with childcare responsibilities differently to others. If your employees' contracts of employment allow, perhaps you could consider short-time working or temporary layoff without pay. In fact, even if your employees' contracts of employment don't allow, that is something that you could agree with an employee in writing as an amendment to their contract of employment. Again, they might be amenable to agreeing to this if they know it's an alternative to redundancy. Why not take the opportunity to review your company benefits provided to employees? Are there any non-contractual benefits that could be stopped either temporarily or otherwise as a cost-saving measure? And finally, if you haven't already done so, we would always advise that you don't end up in a position where all of your employees have accrued 6 months holiday during lockdown, which they all want to take immediately. You can require your employees to take contractual annual leave by giving them the required advanced notice. And we would suggest that you do this if you haven't already done so, starting now. Unfortunately, despite all of these tactics, some redundancies are going to be unavoidable. Importantly, furlough leave does not preclude your employees from participating in a redundancy consultation process, nor does it preclude you from carrying out a full consultation process with your employees. We'll be covering what a redundancy consultation looks like in a subsequent webcast, but do get in touch if you have any queries either about this webcast or about some redundancy do's and don'ts that you just wanted to run by us, and we'll be more than happy to help.